evening. This is Alana Powers. Behind me are the forbidding walls of the Haviland State Penitentiary. Within those walls, a man waits to die. What is he thinking about right now? Is he re-examining his past? Is he repentant? What does he have to say for himself?
Academy Award nominee Bruce Davison and Joanna Cassidy star in a gripping contemporary thriller which unfolds within the walls of death row, turning a journalist's dream into a nightmare.
Where did he get that gun?
An action-packed drama, only this time, it's for real.
Hey, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I, Lawrence Harwin Dvorak, have taken command of Death Row.
I don't care what you do, just keep us on the center.
Now, Mr. Dvorak, you and me, one-on-one.
Yes, tonight, someone will die, and you will see it right there in your living room. Blood will flow onto your carpet. The death penalty, live from Death Row.
Better, WR?
If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. They're coming after me, Marion. All my creditors.
They've come after you before.
Yeah, but this time they're going to get me. If I could only buy some time.
How much does time cost these days?
$1 million, which I don't have.
You could sell some of the artwork.
No. Everything's pledged to the banks. I can't sell anything.
How bad is it?
Very. I owe the Toronto Bank $50 million.
Well, you never do anything in a small way.
That's part of my charm. All told, I owe $126 million. The next sound you hear will be the collapse of the Hearst Empire. Not quite the fall of the Roman Empire, but not unimpressive. Well, looks like the end of the line, Miss Davies. You want to get off?
It's been one terrific ride, Mr. Hearst.
Marion, come here.
Thank you.
Marion, he's here again.
That's 8 nights in a row.
And he's sitting next to your fella.
Paul Block is not my fella.
Save that for his wife.
Do you think they know each other?
Honey, everybody knows William Randolph Hearst.
Let's go, let's go.
Okay, thank you. I am the spirit of spring. Spirit of spring.
W.R. Hearst, Astor, Rockefeller, they're all the same in my book.
Wrong. Hearst is the most dangerous of the group.
Why? Because of all that garbage he prints in his newspapers?
No, Astor and Rockefeller are just greedy. Hearst wants to run the country.
Paul, why are men always arguing politics?
A mistaken opinion that it makes them seem intellectual. Want some more champagne?
His editorials helped start the Spanish-American War.
And why is he working so hard to keep us out of the European conflict?
Because Hearst is a damn crunk lover.
I'll happily accept the epithet if it'll keep us out of the war. Well, Paul, don't I get an introduction?
Marion Davies. William Randolph Hearst.
You were wonderful on that stage tonight.
Oh, I looked like a fool. One line and I couldn't even say it. I stammer when I get nervous.
Anyone as lovely as you should never be nervous.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Miss Davies,
Oh, it's you.
may I take you home?
No, I don't think so.
Is it because of Paul?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Don't worry about him.
Thanks for the lift.
I'd like to see you again.
Your calling card, Mr. Hearst?
I'm serious.
You certainly are. Too much so for me.
I can be less serious.
Can you?
I can try.
Call me.
It's solid gold.
And it's really from Tiffany's. He didn't just use the box.
You're moving up in the world. Mr. William Randolph Hearst.
The biggest wolf in New York.
He was a perfect gentleman, Mama.
A perfect married gentleman.
Paul Block is married, too. Thanks, Rain. You're a lot of help.
You do know that Mrs. Hearst just recently had twins. That makes 5 children he's got.
All he did was drive me home.
What is this a token of?
He enjoyed my performance.
Well, let's hope that's all he's going to enjoy.
I can dance a little, I can sing a little, and that's enough for a career on the stage. Now, if I could only act.
Have you tried? Then you don't know, do you?
I can't jump across the Hudson River either. I know that without trying.
Does it make you nervous, talking about your career?
No, it's just all these people staring at us.
People stare at you every night.
It's not the same.
Are you ashamed to be seen with a loser like me?
No, why would you say something like that?
William also Randolph Hearst, I'm sure you've heard that one. Lost for governor, lost for mayor, going to lose for trash man. That's what they say. And you know something? They're all wrong.
Are you going to run again? Why?
Because I can run things better than they're being run.
The city?
The country. I'm going to be president of the United States, just as you're going to be an actress.
Yes, but I don't even want to try. I'd just look foolish.
No, you wouldn't. And what if you did? Part of winning is not being afraid to lose. Come on. I'll show you.
We gotta get this out of the way. Sox win last night.
Get it from Hubbard.
What's the lineup? Thank you.
Thank you.
Some edifice, Mr. Hearst.
A monument to winning, Miss Davies.
Frank, you got it in, did you? I got it right here. Right here.
I was thinking.
Don't. That's not what I paid you for. Let's use a 3-column head on this. Mexicans prepare for war with U.S. and stretch this bandit story out.
Are you going to be much longer? Because I'm rehearsing with Flo Ziegfeld tomorrow, and it's getting late.
Let's get a little more color from the woman's point of view. You know, she's all alone in her nightdress. She hears the drumming of the bandits' hooves, the bark of the pistols, the drunken hoops as they gallop around her house, and so on.
Is that it?
Just keep the stories exciting, gentlemen. We're not selling the telephone book.
Night, boys. You treat them like children.
They'd do anything for me.
Sure, because they're all scared of you.
It's a better home than loyalty.
Not for me, it's not.
I don't scare you at all, do I?
Not a bit. Come on, get me home. I don't want to fall asleep on the stage tomorrow.
2, 3. 1, port to Prague. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, down, up, gently. 2, 3, 4, lift. 1, 2, 1, and 2, arrive. 1, 2, easy. 1, port to Prague. 1, Davies. 3.
Marion.
Come on, ladies. Come on.
Davies, do you think you could come down here without tripping over your feet?
I'm ready for a break anyway.
No spots, ladies.
Are you canning me, Mr. Ziegfeld?
I'm giving you a bigger part, more lines, another song.
Really?
That was the city editor from The American I was just talking to.
And lift.
You've got the Sunday cover.
Well, isn't that a Hearst paper?
1, drag.
Wonderful.
1,
Yes.
2,
Morris.
drag.
You didn't think I could do it myself, did you? You just have to throw your weight into everything, and your newspaper. I want Ziggy to decide to move me up, not you.
It was his decision.
Because you told him to. You're just like everybody else. You don't believe in my acting.
But I do. I think you can act and sing and dance. You can do anything you want to. That's why I helped you, so you'd know for yourself. Don't you understand? You've got more talent than any other girl in this show.
You really believe that?
I believe in you.
What blonde beauty owes stardom and pages of publicity to someone who likes her eyes and her lips and her other charms? You're making the gossip columns, Marion.
Well, it certainly isn't front-page news.
It is if you're Mrs. Hearst.
Mrs. Hearst hasn't got anything to be jealous of.
What's that supposed to mean?
Exactly what it sounds like.
But it's been weeks. You mean he hasn't tried anything?
All he's done is kiss me on the cheek.
Maybe there's something wrong with me. More likely there's something wrong with him.
You know, other guys have given me presents, but they always wanted something in return. The same thing, all of them. But he never asks for anything. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop.
You want it to, Marion?
I think so. More out of curiosity than anything. No, that's not true. I like the old guy.
And what are you going to do when he finally makes a pass?
Probably fall flat on my back out of sheer relief.
Ma'am. Good evening, Mr. Hearst.
What am I supposed to do with that?
I thought you might open the door with it.
Had this for some time, Mr. Hearst?
Don't you think it's about time you started calling me something else?
Like what?
WR?
Okay, WR. How long have you had this?
I got it for us about a week ago.
So what if I say no? Are you going to give this key to one of your other girls?
Is that what you think?
Well, are you going to try and tell me that I'm your only girl?
Come on, I'll take you home.
What's wrong?
I just never know what you want.
You can start by putting your hand on my shoulder and the other around my waist. I'm so nervous.
So am I.
WR, I'm no innocent.
Doesn't matter. I'm the last. I'm the only one. God has made it come to pass that this war cannot continue unless we who have prayed for peace supply arms and money to protract that same war. Shall we go back to our churches and say, Lord, we thought we wanted peace, but we had not estimated the income from the guns and shells to kill our brothers in Europe, or the interest on the loan to continue the war. After balancing our books, we felt, like Judas Iscariot, that we needed the money.
It's pretty strong, Chief.
I meant it to be.
You think it reflects majority opinion?
I don't mean to reflect majority opinion. I intend to establish it.
It's your paper.
And don't you forget it.
The candles. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Since when did we start celebrating my birthday?
Since Miss Davies told us you had one.
And just how did you find that out?
You told me never to divulge my source.
Hoist on my own petard.
A toast to the best boss that any newsman ever had.
That, sir, is a damnable lie.
Okay, then here's to the boss with the biggest wallet in New York.
I give you the finest staff that money can buy. And the most beautiful actress on the stage.
Bravo, bravo.
All right. Who wants some cake to wash down this champagne?
It's for you, Chief. Mrs. Hearst.
Yes, Millicent. I was just on my way out. I know the boys are waiting up. I've been busy. I forgot. I'll be there in a few minutes. It seems that you and my family are the only ones who remember my birthday.
That's okay.
I'll try to stop by and see you later on.
No, that's all right. I'm going to go home after the show. I can use the sleep.
You're sure?
Yeah, you go home.
Oh, happy birthday, Chief.
Happy birthday,
Here's to you, Chief. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Do this more often.
Hey, well, this party isn't over. Come on. Give me some of that champagne.
I'll drink to that.
You know, you said it was just going to be a lark. That's all I wanted, just a good time. And why are you letting it get more serious with me? It's not something I can just turn on and off. I can get rid of him. I'm the old heap-ho. Marion, why don't you find yourself a husband? Now you're beginning to sound like Mama. Well, we're both worried about you. You know, she heard you crying last night. I wasn't crying, I'm getting a cold. Marion, isn't that Mr. Hearst limousine over there? Where? Wait here for me.
You hurt, miss? Are you all right?
Miss, what's all this miss stuff?
WR? We can put her bicycle in the trunk.
Thank you, Millicent.
James.
I'm Marion Davies. I know. I read my husband's papers. His reviews are very kind. They certainly are.
I am your wife. Don't humiliate me.
Think of the children. Don't give me orders. Don't even try to.
Then you don't plan on running for office again?
Yes, president.
Campaigning with her alongside you on the dais? I think not. Her charms are not what one would call a political asset. And divorce isn't just a sin against God. It's a sin with the voters.
Who said anything about divorce?
Then why are you telling me about her?
I didn't want you to hear about it from unfriendly sources.
Forgive me, but it has hardly been a state secret. Even I read the gossip columns occasionally, in newspapers other than yours.
I love the boys, you know that. And I'll always take care of you. But I intend to keep on seeing Marion. Do you want a separation?
I am Mrs. William Randolph Hearst, and I intend to remain so.
And we understand each other.
So she knows. It's out in the open in front of God and everyone.
That's right.
So you don't have to be ashamed of being seen with me.
I'm not ashamed of us. I never have been.
And maybe you can spend the night with me once in a while?
More than once in a while.
So what aren't you telling me?
What do you mean?
Well, you come over here with good news. I think it's good news. But the more you talk, the more I keep hearing but at the end of the sentence.
I'm going to run for president.
You're kidding.
I'm going to win.
How? You and the communists are the only ones still yammering against the war.
Thank you for your political analysis.
WR.
I have a responsibility. I'm going to run for office to do the things that have to be done. Too speechy?
It'll play.
I thought that's how I'd begin my announcement.
Who's going to be listening?
The people who want peace. President Hearst, Marion.
Sounds good. Fine. But like I said, what's the bad news?
Campaigning is a full-time job.
Aha. Comes the but.
I just won't have the same kind of time available.
I see. So what's acceptable to Mrs. Hearst is not necessarily acceptable to the voters.
It's just during the campaign, Marion. I'll make the announcement soon. I'll be elected in November 1920 and inaugurated in March 1921.
So we don't see each other at all?
It's better that way.
Well, suddenly I understand how your wife feels. I'm the mistress she has to worry about. And politics is the mistress I have to worry about.
Marion.
Play around as much as you want, WR. Maybe I'll be here when you get back, and maybe I won't. Good luck with your campaigning. Maybe I'll even vote for you.
If no country could go to war until the question had been submitted to the people and approved by the people, that would mean the end of war. That's hardly going to get Hearst elected to national office.
Making a fool of himself. That is, when he's making a fool of other people.
I heard somebody call him a traitor the other day.
I hear somebody call him a traitor every day.
That's the nicest thing to call him.
Is there any chance we can change the subject? Byron, how are you coming with that screen story I gave you? I think it would make a swell movie.
As a matter of fact, somebody's interested, and you'll never guess who.
Somebody I know?
Paul Block.
Your old beau. Another married one.
But before he buys it, he's got one condition.
That you star in it yourself.
Mr. Block.
Me? But I've never done anything like this before.
That it would be a new experience for both of us. Come on, dance with me. We'll talk about it. You're an experienced performer.
But it's different from the stage.
It's a whole new art form.
But it'd be silly. I'll be silly.
Byron will be directing and he knows what he's doing.
But I don't.
He'll make sure that you look great. How could you not look great?
What if I stutter?
Marion, who here? There's no sound in movies.
Well,
You'll be on a screen 35 feet high. Just you, your face, and every man in New York will be laying down at your feet. And I mean, every man.
well, maybe.
And it'll be a chance for us to get reacquainted. Just like old times.
Not quite.
Marion. You think you could be just a little confined in your movements?
But Flo Ziegfeld always told us to use large, sweeping gestures.
Yeah, I know, but the camera makes everything much closer, so if you could just try and contain it.
Right.
Okay. Let's try it once more. Turn it.
Right down there.
And action. Cut. Okay, that was a lot better. I think maybe it was just even a little too confined. So if you could just try to be more natural.
Byron, it's a little hard to do anything when Paul is over there looking like I'm about to send him to the poorhouse.
I'll talk to him. Okay, let's break for lunch.
What is this? Thank you, Miss Byron.
What?
Half a sandwich, half a banana, half an egg. Maybe we should only work half a day.
It's Paul. He's afraid he's going to lose his shirt in this picture. He's trying to cut corners any way he can.
Wonderful. That's just the vote of confidence we all need.
The painful truth is that we are practically being used as a mere reinforcement to England's warfare and England's future aggrandizement.
Shut up, Hearst.
The thing to do is for us to arm ourselves to the teeth and let the Germans come to us. Otherwise, we are only sending our men to useless slaughter.
Hearst has persistently blackguarded the president of our great nation. Today he stands as the most pronounced advocate of the pro-German cause who is still at large in the United States. I say to all Americans that he is false not only to his own country, but to every idea.
Judge Seabury was an old friend.
Was is right.
Are you saying that you don't think I can win?
Look, W.R. We thought we'd get better support from the Irish and Germans. You were being anti-English and all.
I was never anti-English, just anti-war.
Well, I'm afraid that's not the mood of the country right now.
I will not give them my conscience.
Then they won't give you their votes.
At this hour of the night.
William also ran Dolph Hearst. Only this time I don't even get to run.
You bum.
Did you miss me?
Oh, you'll never know how much.
wonderful.
Oh, I stink.
I don't want you to make pictures for Block anymore.
I don't want to make pictures, period.
I'm going to buy a studio. We'll have our own movie company.
Well, why don't you waste your money on something good?
You're good.
I'm lousy.
I'm going to make you a star.
You'd do better running for office.
Don't you believe me?
No. But don't let that stop you from trying.
When knighthood was in flower, sets a new pace in pictures. Marion Davies rises to new heights in this Hearst cosmopolitan production.
One of your papers?
The American.
What's the Times say?
Nothing previously done in motion pictures can compete with this perfect photoplay and the superlative talents of its star, Marion Davies.
The Times.
Journal.
Another one of yours.
I don't own the Telegraph.
How'd you miss that one?
Luella Parsons writes, Marion Davies is a good actress, a beauty, and a comedy starring bet. I should hire her.
Sounds like you already had.
What's the matter with you? These are good reviews.
Or a not-so-good picture.
You're just angry because I cut out that last embrace.
You're darn right I'm angry.
It was unnecessary.
You're just jealous. People like to see a happy ending.
You don't have to show those sexy things to give them a happy ending.
It was only one kiss, W.R.
It makes you look cheap.
Every other actress does it.
Not Mary Pickford, and her pictures are doing just fine.
She doesn't have to buy her good reviews. Look, everybody in this town knows what's going on with you and me. Do you really think any one of them is going to believe I'm still a virgin?
Don't talk like that. It's the liquor that makes you say these things we both regret.
If you just let me do comedies. I like comedies.
Your talent lies in drama.
I get enough of that in my everyday life.
Oh, so that's what this is all about.
Damn it. And I didn't want to say anything.
But you did.
But I did.
What is it you want, Marion? You've got a marvelous career.
The one you wanted. Not the one I wanted.
Which is?
I just want...
Come on, say it.
A wife. I just want to be your wife.
I'm with you all the time. There's no other girl in my life but you. You know that.
Oh, sure, if we don't count your wife. Oh, I know you do everything you can.
No, not quite. There is one more thing I could do. I could tell Millicent that I want a divorce.
What?
I'm going to ask her for a divorce.
Oh, W.R., I love you so.
Asking her is one thing. Getting her to agree is another.
She'll say yes. I know she will.
No.
That's all?
You want a divorce, try and get it. I won't give it to you.
You'll fight me?
Oh, yes, tooth and nail. And I know how. I learned from an expert.
It'll affect the children more than anyone else.
I'm glad to see you're aware of that fact. Well, do we fight?
You know something? I liked you better when you were a chorus girl.
So did I, W.R. So did I.
I left Harvard with something less than honors. Matter of fact, I was kicked out. My beloved father, understanding that I'd never make a student, offered me a number of jobs, running a silver mine, taking over one of the companies. But the only thing I wanted was to run a newspaper. My father owned one in San Francisco. That's where it all started. It was such fun then.
Not so much anymore?
No. Too many newspapers. I can't give enough attention to any one of them.
Like too many children.
Or too many wives. There's nothing I can do, Marion. The divorce would not be pleasant. I can understand if you wish to pursue other alternatives.
There are no other alternatives. There never will be. That's the problem.
You mean you'll stay with me?
Till death do us part. I think that's how it goes. Besides, why should I keep chasing a streetcar when I'm already on board?
On my advice, Mr. Hearst has invested in quite a few growth stocks. Since the war, they seem to be the strongest.
I don't think so. Real estate. That's where I'd like to put my money.
Well, that's a little conservative, Mr. Hearst, who wants to see your stocks grow. And these stocks are making some people millionaires overnight.
I don't even know what a stock looks like. And I'd hate to put my money into anything I don't understand. Now, office buildings, apartment buildings, those I can understand. I can touch them.
Did you go to the track, Miss Davies?
Sure. W.R. and I go a couple of times a month.
I bet you pick your horses by what color the jockey is wearing.
How did you know?
Just a wild guess.
You know, I'm already $270 ahead this year. Anyway, my point is I'd like to avoid stocks and stick with real estate. You don't like me, do you, Mr. Beale?
Mr. Hearst employs me to advise him on financial matters. I confine my opinions to that area.
Come on, just between you and me. I won't tell W.R. I'm just curious.
You have to understand that it's nothing against you personally.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's just that I find your relationship with Mr. Hearst to be immoral. Worse than that, it's indicative of the times we live in. Times not seen since Sodom and Gomorrah.
Do you think I'm going to turn into a pillar of salt, Mr. Beale? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of you.
Of course, I would never permit my personal feelings to influence the manner in which I handle your money.
If anything, you're probably going to be more careful than usual to make up for your feelings.
What exactly? I'd never thought that you could...
That I could understand. My dear Mr. Beale, being immoral doesn't make me stupid.
Sister of yours gonna get here?
Anytime now. Excuse me.
Just want to see if she's as pretty in person as up on the screen.
Who is it?
It's Mary.
Hello?
Hello, Ray. I'm sorry, but I won't be able to make it.
What happened?
I'm feeling awful. I'm coming down with a head cold.
Oh, Marion, everyone's going to be so disappointed.
Oh, they won't even miss me. Call me tomorrow and tell me everything.
Without you, there won't be anything to tell.
Call me anyway.
We'll go to bed and take some medicine. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
When is your sister getting?
She's working late at the studio.
What does that mean?
It means she's not going to be able to make it.
Come on, Hazel, let's go. We're leaving.
Oh, and I'm having a good time. Look, what's the hurry all of a sudden?
No hurry. I've just been here long enough. Come on.
I thought you wanted to wait for Marion Davies.
Well, she isn't coming, so let's go.
Hey! You want to go, but I'm staying.
Get your coat. We're leaving. Now, come on. Don't say no to me.
Oh, my God, Byron, they're going to have a fight and ruin my party. Tell the band to play something loud.
Let's dance.
I'm leaving, you fat cow.
Let the party continue.
You with the mouse!
Your family is right. We are not going to take this lying down.
We aren't in the papers. I am.
I think you should sue.
For what?
For libel.
That's not what I mean.
These newspapers dragged your name through the mud.
WR, I wasn't there. I know that, and you know that, so what difference does it make?
They can't do this to you.
What you really mean is they can't do this to you.
It's the same thing.
What's the big deal?
I'll tell you what's the big deal. Will Hayes is sitting out there in Hollywood reading all the news, looking for any scandal involving movie people. If he finds it, your career is in big trouble. That's the big deal.
Some career.
Marion, I promised I'd make you a movie star. I'm not going to have that dream ruined by some cheap newspaper lie.
Okay, WR. I'll bring suit.
Now, is there any evidence of Mr. Oscar Hearst drinking liquor?
I think he had something on the hip.
You mean a hip flask? Yes. Did any of the other guests have anything on the hip?
Yes. But they didn't offer me any.
That'll be all for now, Your Honor.
Does counsel for the plaintiff have any further questions?
A few, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Sloan, you referred to Miss Marion Davies earlier as a star.
I did.
Would you call her sister, Rain Davies, a star?
No, I would not.
A prominent actress, then?
No, just somebody who had received a good salary.
So, it was Miss Marion Davies' prominence that caused her name to be used.
I believe her prominence was directly responsible for bringing Miss Davies into the spotlight.
How would you define spotlight?
The headlines in the newspapers. And as used in the article, it was what the news wished its readers to understand.
Objection, Your Honor. The witness is merely expressing a personal opinion.
Sustained. Strike the last.
So, the shooting didn't bring the Davies girls into the spotlight, but the news story did?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Sloan. I would now like to call Miss Marion Davies to the stand. Apparently, she just stepped into the hallway.
Bailiff?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. She was in the courtroom.
What happened?
I left.
Just like that.
No, not just like that. I sat there in that courtroom, and I knew that I was going to be called up on the witness stand. And I thought about all those people staring at me. And I got more and more nervous. And you know what happens when I get nervous.
What?
I stutter.
Oh.
And I figured that's all the judge would need to see, because as soon as you stutter, they figure you're lying.
You don't get nervous in front of audiences?
Well, I didn't think the judge would let me sing my testimony.
The judge threw the case out.
That's what I figured would happen.
Well, don't you care?
It wasn't my fight, WR. It was what everybody else wanted.
For you.
Oh, for me. It's always for me. It doesn't matter what I want. Sue a newspaper, be a movie star. It's all the same to you because you're not the one in the spotlight. Damn it, Pops. Stop being so good to me.
I'm sorry. I really am. I forgot about the stutter. I wouldn't have...
Everywhere we go, there's somebody watching us, just looking for the chance to say something bad about us. There's no place to hide.
Yes, there is. The ranch.
California?
Why not? They make movies in California. When you're not working, you can be up at the ranch, away from Hollywood, away from reporters.
But what about my family, my friends?
They can come and visit. Maybe I can talk Rain into moving out there.
Yeah, but you'll be coming back here all the time.
Promise.
But your children are here.
I'll bring them out there.
Promise?
Promise.
And we'll be together?
So death us do part.
Where
flowers bloom in the spring. Each morning at dawning, birdies sing and everything. California, here I am.
those pedestals. Be careful, that's old.
Where do you want this, ma'am?
Why don't you just set that here, at least for the time being?
Right, LB. We'll be in on Monday. Yes. We're both looking forward to a long and profitable association. I'll see you then. Goodbye.
LV, WR, MGM. Sounds like alphabet soup.
We're moving into Metro Goldwyn Mayer as soon as your dressing room is finished.
Maybe we can live there. This place is so big it'll never be done.
Of course it will.
It's so empty. How will we ever fill it up?
That's the easiest part.
Mr. Beale, isn't this a wonderful party?
It's costing a fortune.
No more than I made today, Arthur.
Now, this is my party, and I will not have you talking business. Where's your wife? I can't wait to take her on the grand tour.
She stayed back in Los Angeles. She was feeling a bit under the weather.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was really looking forward to meeting her. Well, perhaps you can have dinner with us before you go back to New York.
Well, you see, schedule is rather busy.
Well, WR will talk you into making time, won't you?
Indeed I will.
And I thought you had a lot of books.
Have you seen
It's so good to see you.
Miss Parsons.
Mr. Hearst, Marion.
Luella, that is the most beautiful dress.
Your customer George designed it.
I wish he had done that well on my last picture.
You were wonderful.
And you never looked lovely.
Your reviews were very kind.
And totally deserved. Marion, there's someone I'd like you to meet.
See you later.
Tom? Marion Davies, meet Thomas Ennis.
It's Davies. A pleasure.
I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed your pictures.
I've been telling him he should be producing films for me.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
He's certainly given me something to think about.
Well, keep thinking.
You have an amazing art collection, Mr. Hearst.
Oh, this is just the beginning. Wait till you see what's coming next.
I look forward to it.
And we'll look forward to having you back here. Do you think there's a chance he'll make pictures for you, Pops?
Maybe. A little persuasion from you might help.
I'll do it.
Marion, I think you've had enough.
Right, Pops. Gonna go powder my nose. Hello, my loves. Isn't this the most wonderful day anyone ever saw?
What do you think?
I think it's terrible, too.
Then why did you write it?
I didn't. You had somebody else put it in.
Look, I'm 28 years old, WR. I can't play 16 anymore.
What would you rather be playing?
A woman!
Which happens to be what she is.
The public loves her as a young girl.
The public loves her, period. They're not fools. They know she's grown up. But let her play a woman with children.
Absolutely not.
Then at least let her have a lover.
I won't hear of it.
Damn it, WR! I want to be taken seriously!
All right. All right. In the next movie,
And the cow milking scene?
out. It's out. Coming up to the ranch on the weekend?
I can't. Too much work. Next month, maybe.
Good. Bye.
I'm glad we won that battle now.
Me too.
Especially with him leaving for New York next week.
New York?
Didn't you know?
What are you doing?
What does it look like?
I don't like it when you drink.
And we're even. I don't like it when you keep things from me.
Like what?
Like you're going to New York next week?
I go to New York all the time.
You always tell me when you go. Why not now?
Stop that!
The hell I will. How long are you going to be gone?
2 weeks.
Why so long?
The boys. I haven't had enough time with them.
You said you'd bring them here.
It just won't work out this time.
Millicent. You promised. You promised!
Marion, why do you drink? Get drunk.
I like it.
That's not a reason.
It's all the reason I need.
It's because I can't marry you, isn't it?
It's not that simple, Pops.
Yeah, that's it. I know it is.
I was drinking before I met you. And I'll be drinking long after you're gone. That is, assuming you ever decide to go. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
I'll miss you.
Sure.
Now, all you have to do is go into the cage and sit in the chair.
And the lion won't move.
I guarantee you, the lion won't move. You'll just sit in the chair, and after a little bit, your leading man will come in and find you there. Okay?
Okay.
Turn him. And action. Lovely dog. Just go to the chair. There's nothing to be afraid of. He's just a big pussycat. Relax. Your lover's going to come into the cage in a moment.
Marion, no!
I can't do it, George.
There's nothing to worry about.
Oh, sure, for you. You're out here.
You said you wanted to do the scene without a double.
Because you said the lion was tame.
He is.
He is not. You'll have to get another one.
There aren't any available.
Well, then you'll just have to get another actress.
Excuse me, Miss Davies.
Oh, Mr. Chaplin. Hello.
I was passing by and I couldn't help overhearing. You're not worried about Danny, are you?
Danny?
Him. Because if you are, I can assure you he's as safe as can be. You don't look reassured. Come on, I'll show you.
May I bring you a cup of coffee? Please, I don't want you to get hurt.
It's no more dangerous than meeting with some studio head. Would you mind? Hello, Danny. You remember Charlie?
Get somebody! Get somebody!
Come to think of it, it's a lot more pleasant than meeting with some studio head. And speaking of pleasant things, are you free for dinner? Cheers. You hear the rumors about talking pictures?
Sure, I've heard them. Everybody talks about them. There's never going to be such a thing.
Oh, I think they'll develop it, but it won't be anything more than a fad. People want to see action, not listen to a lot of talk.
Good evening, Marion.
Hi, Lolly.
Charlie. What do you hear from Mr. Hearst?
Well, the usual. He's busy. Can't wait to get back. But I expect you're in touch with him more than me.
Oh, I just write the column and send it in. And is there any chance that you and Lita Gray will start seeing each other again?
I don't think so.
Oh, too bad. You were such a wonderful couple.
That's what I thought. Evidently, Miss Gray felt otherwise. Fortunately, I have my good friend's shoulder to cry on.
And such a nice shoulder it is. You never looked lovelier, Marion.
Mr. Chaplin.
Thank you very much, sir.
Don't worry, Charlie. Neither one of us is married.
Then why do I suddenly feel guilty?
Compliments of Miss Parsons.
It is a nice shoulder. Pity one of us has to go home tonight.
Not necessarily. Cheers.
Evening, Chief.
Go back to sleep. I've got some work to do. Western Union, please. Hello, Western Union. I'd like to send a wire to Los Angeles. 1700 Lexington Road, Beverly Hills. Marion Davies. Thinking of you constantly. Can't get back too soon. Hope you are well and thinking of me. Love, W.R.
We have an audience, remember? Would you boys like to come in for some coffee?
No, thanks, Miss Davies.
Have a nice evening.
And I do hope you sleep well, Miss Davis.
Oh, I will, Mr. Chaplin. Indeed, I will.
Since when do you get home so early?
I explained my mother was staying with me.
You could have brought him in to meet me. That was Charlie Chaplin.
I would have thought you'd be asleep.
Were you ashamed to introduce me?
He has work tomorrow, Mama. I have work tomorrow.
A nice single man.
We're good friends. That's all.
That's what they say in the gossip columns. You talk to me like a gossip column?
He's just keeping me company till W.R. gets back.
Oh, why do you keep waiting for him?
We've been through this, Mama.
But you don't give me an answer. But what is it? Is it this house? Is it the castle up north?
He's made life wonderful for you.
Yes, he has. And I'd trade it in a minute if it would get you married.
He's not divorced, Mama.
But still you keep waiting for him.
I love him.
It's not just not marrying you. I was talking to that screenwriter friend of yours the other day. You know, the one with the same name as yours.
Marion, Frances Marion.
That's her. You know what she said? If Hearst would let you do comedy, you could be the biggest star in Hollywood.
That's an exaggeration.
No, it's not. He keeps putting you in these costume pieces, and you end up looking silly.
Thanks, Mama, for your undying support.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marion. I only want what's best for you. You don't even have any idea when he's coming back.
Soon, Mama. Very soon. Pops! Oh, you weren't due home for a week.
I came straight from the station.
I would have met you.
I wanted it to be a surprise.
And it is.
You glad to see me?
Of course I am.
And did you miss me?
Yes. Oh, yes, I did.
Well, what should we do to celebrate my homecoming?
Oh, a cruise. Let's take the yacht on a cruise.
A cruise it shall be. And who shall we invite?
Sina Owen, Teddy Kosloff, Eleanor Glynn.
How about Chaplin? He's always good for a few laughs.
Okay, Charlie, too.
And maybe Tom Ince. We won't let him off the boat until he promises to make pictures for me.
Oh, we'll threaten to throw him over the side. Oh, Pops, it's so good to have you home.
Miss Parson.
Marvelous day for a sea cruise.
We allow only good weather.
Nice to have you home, Mr. Hearst.
It's good to be here. I appreciate your keeping an eye on things while I was gone.
My pleasure.
Charlie! Excuse me.
W.R. Welcome home.
Good to be back. I want you to know I'm aware of your attention to Marion while I was gone.
She's a marvelous woman. We're all very fortunate to have her as part of our community.
Yes, aren't we?
Oneida to Coast Guard. Oneida to Coast Guard. Medical emergency. We are coming to dock in San Diego. Dangerously sick man aboard. Please have ambulance waiting at dockside. Medical emergency. This is the Oneida.
One at a time, boys. One at a time. I'll answer all your questions.
Noah, is it true that Thomas Ince was shot?
Mr. Ince died from what appears to be heart disease, aggravated by indigestion suffered while aboard the Oneida.
Why was there no inquest?
Well, you'd have to ask the San Diego DA about that. I assume he didn't feel one was called for.
Is it true that Marion Davies was having an affair with Charlie Chaplin?
No. And believe me, my dears, not only would I know something like that, I'd make sure my readers did as well.
Charlie Chaplin denies having been on board the ship.
Well, I don't know. But even if he were, denying it lets him avoid facing this gallery.
Wasn't there a lot of drinking on board?
Mr. Hearst doesn't allow liquor on his yacht. Haven't you heard? There's something called prohibition. Liquor's against the law.
So's murder.
Mr. Hearst's a law-abiding man. All the laws.
You make a very eloquent spokeswoman for Hearst, Luella.
I know, love. That's what he pays me for. Thank you.
All right, what's it going to be?
What's what going to be?
You and Chaplin.
You sound like a jealous husband.
Suppose I do.
You're not entitled.
Sometimes I forget.
I never do.
I withdraw the question. Your Charlie Chaplin just married Lita Gray in Mexico.
Well, that's wonderful. They'll be happy together. He's so in love with her.
You're a marvelous actress, Marion.
That's what you always say, W.R.
I sat in this very room and got Franklin Roosevelt the nomination. I could do it for him, never for myself. Might turn out to be the worst decision I ever made.
He's going to bring us out of the Depression.
Maybe, but from what you're saying, it may not be soon enough to help me.
Oh, I think that's overstating it a little, Chief.
Overstatement is my nature. How far are the advertising revenues down?
A lot.
Any suggestions?
Well, we could stop calling the New Deal the Raw Deal. I'm sorry, Chief, but it's things like that that make people not want to buy the paper.
Sorry, boys, not a chance. Mr. Beale here has ways to trim our overhead. That's fine. But we are not going to start changing our editorial position. We're in a circulation war, not a popularity contest.
Well, these days, I'm afraid it's the same thing.
I don't know what to do with W.R. He keeps buying more and more things. I told him we're going to have to add on another wing if he brings home one more painting.
Tell us the truth, Marion. When is W.R. going to make an honest woman out of you?
In my case, it may be too late. No, seriously, I'd never let him get a divorce. He's a great man. He has to have his dignity.
Getting divorced isn't undignified.
Look, it's all right if you have a younger woman as your mistress. I mean, look at Louis XIV, Charles II, and Herod. But if you divorce your wife and marry a kid, then you look like an old fool. And no man can live down being ridiculous. So we'll just keep things the way they are.
I guess I could sell some of my art while it's still mine.
Well, never thought I'd hear you say that.
Changing times, Arthur. Changing times.
You might consider getting out of the movie business.
Oh, no. No.
Well, do you still think there's money in it?
I know there is. Most of it's mine. I'm afraid I gave you a lousy job, Arthur.
If we could just get rid of the delinquency.
With what? With what? I've got, let me see, $238. Is that enough? Because that's what I've got. I'm borrowed out. I'm dead in the water.
W.R.
Spare me the obituaries, Arthur. There'll be plenty of those soon enough.
Bye, Chief.
Looks like the end of the line, Miss Davies. You want to get off?
It's been one terrific ride, Mr. Hearst.
You didn't answer my question.
I know.
Well, use the real estate, use the bonds, use anything. I need it done today. It's my money. Thank you.
W.R.
Well, you want to hear the battle plan?
As long as it doesn't include you falling on your sword.
Arthur's proposing a committee to watchdog my money until everyone's paid back.
And what if that doesn't work?
Then I'll try and charm my creditors.
Maybe they'll find this charming.
Where did you get $1 million?
I have a friend who keeps me working steady.
No.
Pops.
I can't take it.
Yes, you can.
It's everything you've got.
No. You are.
In 7 years, Hearst was a rich man again. Although he never divorced, he and Marion were together until his death in 1951. On his deathbed, she was at his side, and his eyes followed her everywhere.